Hello and welcome! Today I'm sharing how I made these cute Easter themed cupcakes. I've tried to use basic tools and techniques so you can recreate them at home and even get the kids involved too. Before I start, if you are new here, please do consider subscribing to my channel. I post recipes, cake decorating ideas and much more. I'm starting off with my favourite design, which is this adorable fluffy sheep. I begin by rolling out some black fondant, and we're going to cut out some basic shapes. I've used an oval shape cutter and a heart cutter, but you could also make a little template and cut it out by hand. I'm then trimming off the larger end of the heart, and that will be my ear shape. Using a little water, stick on some edible eyes and the ears. I purchased these from a local supermarket, but you could also make these from fondant if you can't get hold of them. It's best to make the faces in advance so that the fondant can set up a little bit before you apply it to the cupcake. That way it won't be all sad and floppy. Now these have set, I can begin by piping a basic swirl of buttercream onto the top. I'm just using a round nozzle, but you could just snip the end off a piping bag or even apply it with a knife. It doesn't have to be neat because we're going to cover it up with some mini white marshmallows. Use the marshmallows to cover the entire surface and then just give it one gentle last push into the buttercream. We don't want a bold sheep. Pop a little dot of buttercream or icing to the back of the head and place it on. I mean, come on, how cute is that? Just look at his little face. Next up, I'm going to show you how I created these cute carrots in the mud. For the soil, I took some cookies and cream biscuits, removed the cream part and crushed them all up. I coated the cupcake with chocolate buttercream. It doesn't have to be perfect as we're going to dip it into the crushed biscuits and give it a good wiggle to make sure it's completely covered, like so. I've made up some orange buttercream and I've popped it into a piping bag with a round tip. Again, you could just snip the end off of a piping bag. And I'm going to pipe 3 dots of buttercream into the centre. To make the tops, I'm using some green buttercream in a bag with a grass nozzle, and I'm just going to give them some little tufts. If you don't have a piping tip like this, you could just poke holes into the piping bag with a cocktail stick, or maybe you could use some candy like apple laces to be the tops instead. Now for my bunny bum cupcakes. I'm going to stick with the grass nozzle and cover the entire surface of the cupcake. Squeeze the buttercream out just above the cupcake, release the pressure and quickly pull upwards to create the blades of grass. For the bunny, I've rolled out some balls of fondant. I've got a large oval for the bottom and I'm popping a small ball on top for the tail. To make the feet, I'm shaping the fondant into teardrops and using a knife I indent the paws. Please be very careful when you do this. It would be a lot safer to use a cocktail stick or a butter knife. My knife isn't actually that sharp and it's not as close to my fingers as it looks. I've also got some tiny balls of pink fondant which I carefully flatten out and stick to the feet for the little pads. Pop these up against the body and you have a bunny diving into its burrow. My fourth design is a nest full of delicious chocolate eggs. Like the bunny cupcake, pipe grass all over the top and then using the same nozzle, this time with chocolate buttercream, pipe a circle like so. Keep the pressure nice and even and move the nozzle round. Build up a few layers of the buttercream so you have a nice full nest and then fill it with your chosen treats. My final design is this adorable little chick. Cover the top of the cupcakes with yellow buttercream and smooth it out as much as you can. For the beak, roll out a little piece of orange fondant and cut out a small square and indent diagonally. The eyes are just 2 small balls of fondant that I've pushed into the buttercream along with the beak. I also added a last finishing touch by popping some of the leftover buttercream into a bag with a leaf nozzle and gave him a little tuft, but you could just add a little swipe of buttercream or maybe some candies to create a little tuft of hair. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I did making it, and it gives you some ideas for some quick and easy Easter cupcake designs. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favourite, and also if you plan on recreating these with the family over the Easter holidays. Thanks for watching!